A guy rolled into my shop last year with a 4-year-old Ram, convinced he needed an oil change. But 40 minutes later, I'm showing him metal shavings in his engine and a repair quote north of $7,000. His dealer knew this could happen, but they sold him the truck anyway. These are 15 things Ram dealers will never tell you after purchase. Number 15. That tick coming from your Hemi might be the engine eating itself. You fire up your 5.7 Ram on a cold morning and you hear this tapping. You ask the dealer and the guy at the service desk goes, "Oh, they all do that, all Hemis tick." And he is lying to you. Sometimes it really is just normal engine noise. But on a lot of these trucks, that tick is a lifter going bad. And once it stops following the camshaft, it grinds the cam lobe down and throws metal shavings through the whole engine. I had a 2016 1500 come into my shop at 148,000 miles, misfiring on cylinder 5. We opened it up, the cam was finished, and the owner was staring at $4,500 while his dealer told him to dump it. So, what do you actually do? If your Hemi develops a new tick, do not let anyone wave it off. Pull the valve covers and look before that little noise turns into a $7,500 engine. That Hemi tick at least warns you. This fuel pump gives you almost nothing. Number 14. There is a fuel pump in some of these diesels that can take your entire fuel system down with it. If you bought a Ram with the 3.0 EcoDiesel or certain Cummins trucks, you have got a Bosch high-pressure pump, the CP4. And get this, that pump needs the diesel itself to keep it lubricated, and our American diesel is so dry the pump basically grinds itself to death. When it goes, it sends metal debris into your injectors, your fuel rails, your lines, even the tank. Now you are not replacing a pump, you are replacing the whole fuel system, and that bill lands between $8,000 and $12,000. The lawyers suing over this literally called these trucks ticking time bombs. So protect yourself. Run an additive that keeps the pump greased every fill up, a couple bucks a tank, and check whether your truck already had the recall pump swap done. That one piece of paper can save you 12 grand. And this next one is why some owners stopped parking in their own garage. Number 13. Your EcoDiesel can actually catch fire, and Ram already knew. Back in 2019, Ram recalled around 108,000 EcoDiesel 1500 trucks because the EGR cooler cracks, dumps coolant vapor into a hot intake, and the thing lights up under your hood. 4 people got hurt trying to put these fires out with their own hands, but it gets darker. When the recall first dropped, there was no fix ready to go. So owners were told to watch their coolant and park away from the house like the truck was a bomb on a timer. There was a whole settlement over it, $3,000 per documented fire plus an extended warranty worth around $20 million. I did a full EcoDiesel breakdown a while back. Go watch that if you own one. So if you smell coolant or your level keeps dropping, do not park it in your garage. Get it looked at and check that recall. Now the EGR fire, they at least admitted to. These manifold bolts, they have buried for 2 decades and still call routine. Number 12. Those exhaust manifold bolts are designed to snap, and they will call it maintenance. This one drives me up a wall. On a ton of these Hemi trucks, the manifold bolts shear clean off. You get a ticking on cold start that fades as it warms up, classic broken bolt. And Ram is known for the better part of 20 years. They are still doing it on the newer trucks. After 2019, they added reinforcement bars to stop the bolts breaking, and now the manifolds crack instead. You cannot make this up. A buddy of mine had his older Ram fixed for this 5 or 6 separate times. At the dealer, that is $500 to over $1,500 depending on how many let go. And if you are the second owner, good luck getting a dime of goodwill. The giveaway is simple. If a truck that is 4 or 5 years old has a cold start, tick that disappears, that is probably a bolt, not the end of the world. Catch it early before the rest snap and it gets ugly. Broken bolts will at least let you keep driving. This next system shuts the truck down on purpose. Number 11. The emission system will strand your diesel at 5 miles an hour over a $10 sensor. If you run a Cummins or an EcoDiesel, you have got a DEF system that exhaust fluid that scrubs your emissions. When it throws a fault, the truck drops you into limp mode at 5 miles an hour, sometimes with barely 150 miles of warning. And a big chunk of these so-called pump failures are just a gummed up sensor or a bad reading, nothing actually broken. But you still pay $800 to $2,000 to make the truck move again. I have seen guys stuck 3 states from home for weeks on a back-ordered part on a truck that drives perfectly fine over a grumpy sensor. So if you tow or travel, do not ignore the first DEF warning. That early light is your only window before the truck turns into a very expensive lawn ornament. The emission stuff is bad enough, but the transmission has a trap you can walk right into. Number 10, your 8-speed is fantastic, right up until a quick lube shop kills it. The ZF 8-speed in these Rams is a brilliant transmission. The same basic gearbox goes into BMW and Rolls-Royce, but it has weak spots. The valve body can cross-leak and throw you into harsh shifts or limp mode, and the internal clutch parts are a little flimsy for a truck this heavy. And here is the trap. This transmission demands a very specific Mopar fluid. If some corner shop dumps generic fluid in there to save a buck, you can cook the clutches fast. Most dealers, when you complain about a weird 2-to-1 shift bump, just reflash the computer and send you off, which fixes nothing if the hardware is worn. A full replacement is $5,000 to $6,000. So make sure whoever services your transmission uses the exact Mopar fluid, not whatever is on sale. On something this expensive, the right fluid is cheap insurance. Those were the things that quietly drain your wallet. The next 3 are the ones that really worried me when I dug into the numbers. Number 9. That rotary dial shifter sent over 1,000 trucks rolling away on their own. Remember when Ram ditched the gear lever for that little rotary dial you twist? Federal safety investigators looked into more than 1.2 million trucks, the 2013 through 2017 1500s. That came after 1,448 reports of trucks rolling away. People thought they parked, stepped out, and watched their own truck take off down the driveway. Ram's answer was not a real fix. They pushed a software update that drops it into park when you open the door and called it a customer update instead of a recall. So set your parking brake every single time, dial or no dial. Do not trust the electronics to babysit 2 tons of truck on a hill. I do not care how new it is. A truck that moves on its own is scary. A truck that acts haunted is a different kind of nightmare. Number 8. There is one electrical box that can make your Ram act possessed. It is called the power module, the TIPM, and it controls basically every electrical thing on the truck. When it starts failing, the truck does some creepy stuff. No start one morning, then stalling while you drive, a fuel pump that will not shut off, horns honking, wipers going, door locks cycling all by themselves. This hit a lot of 2009 to 2012 Rams. Replacement runs $800 to over $1,200, and parts have been back-ordered for months, and it gets worse. The federal regulators looked at it and declined a broad recall, and the big lawsuit settlement mostly covered the SUV side, not the trucks. If your truck is throwing random electrical gremlins nobody can pin down, stop throwing parts at it and have someone test that power module directly. That is usually the ghost in the machine. But a haunted truck is mostly just maddening. This next one can put you in a ditch. Number 7. Death wobble is real, it is decades old, and the fix they hand you is a Band-Aid. If you have a 2500 or 3500 with the solid front axle, you hit a bump and your whole front end shakes so violently you can barely hold the wheel. The only thing that stops it in the moment is braking almost to a stop. And Ram's history here is ugly. Federal safety regulators once hit the company with a $105 million penalty, the largest they had ever handed out, for botching a pile of recalls. Dealers love to say they cannot duplicate it and then replace one part at a time. A new steering damper just hides the shake, it does not cure it. The real causes are a worn track bar, tie rod ends, and ball joints. So if yours wobbles, get all of that inspected together, not one part at a time. That death wobble can hurt you. This little V6 just insults you. Number 6. The little V6 has 2 separate ways to fail, and Ram excluded some trucks from its own warranty. The 3.6 Pentastar V6 is in a lot of these trucks. The early ones like to cook a cylinder head, the later ones strip out a rocker arm and start ticking, and that debris can wreck the camshaft. Either way, you are into it $3,000 to $4,000. But this is the slimy part. When Ram extended the warranty on the bad cylinder head, they left certain trucks off the list by VIN number. Your broken part could have the exact same part number as a covered one, and you still would not be on the list. Same broken piece, but sorry, your truck is not on the list. So if you run a Pentastar, listen for a new top-end tick and pull your maintenance records, because proving the history is half the battle. Quick thing before we hit the home stretch. If you would rather hear the truth from a mechanic than the guy selling you the truck, hit subscribe. That is the only favor I will ask. Now that last one was Ram cheaping out on an old engine. Number 5 is them making a perfectly good engine way too complicated. Number 5, that mild hybrid system fails out of warranty, and I will say it, nobody needed it. A lot of newer Rams came with eTorque, a 48-volt mild hybrid that swaps your alternator for a belt starter generator. When it dies, your electrical voltage drops and the truck can limp. One owner got quoted $2,500, and the belts they replaced alongside it were not even covered. And what did you get for all that extra stuff? The Hemi went from 15 and 22 miles per gallon to 17 and 23. That is the whole payoff. I personally think eTorque was a solution to a problem no truck owner ever asked about. And here is the tell that I am right. Word is, Stellantis is pulling eTorque off most of the 2027 Hemi trucks because of warranty headaches and part shortages. So shopping used, I lean toward the simpler setup every time. Fewer expensive things to break is a feature, not a downgrade. You can at least point at a failed eTorque belt. But the dealer's next trick, you cannot even see coming. Number 4. The dealer's favorite 3 words are, cannot duplicate it. This is not one specific part, it is a move. You bring the truck in for something that acts up now and then. A shutter, a noise, a warning that comes and goes. The service advisor keeps it overnight, cannot get it to act up, prints a repair order that literally says could not duplicate, and hands you the keys back. Meanwhile, your warranty clock keeps ticking while the problem keeps happening to you out on the road. I have watched this run the warranty out on people more than once. So beat it at its own game. Pull out your phone and film it with sound the second it acts up, and write down the date, the speed, what you were doing. Hand the service desk a folder, not a vague complaint, and get every visit printed on a repair order, even the ones where they found nothing, because that paper trail forces a goodwill fix later when the part lets go. That covers the trucks on the road. Number 3 is about the brand new ones, and it is one of the wilder things Ram has pulled. Number 3, they killed the Hemi, panicked, and brought it right back. For 2025, Ram yanked the 5.7 Hemi V8 out of the 1500 and dropped in a twin-turbo 3.0 inline-6, the Hurricane. 2 turbos, high-pressure direct injection, premium fuel on the hot version, a whole lot more to go wrong than a simple V8. Truck buyers revolted. And here is the beautiful part. Ram backpedaled so hard, they announced the Hemi is coming back for 2026, by popular demand, with the long powertrain warranty right back on it. Dropping the Hemi was one of the dumbest moves I have seen a truck company make, and the fact that they came crawling back proves the point. The Hurricane might end up fine, it is just too new to trust with your money yet. So if you are eyeing a brand new 1500, wait for the Hemi or let some other early adopter find the bugs. Now before you go counting on any warranty to save you, you need to hear the truth about the one everybody brags about. Number 2, that lifetime powertrain warranty you think you have does not transfer, and it is long gone anyway. So let me set it straight. Chrysler offered that on trucks from around 2007 to 2009, but it was original owner only. The second it sold to a new owner, even handed down to family, the coverage died on the spot. It also needed a powertrain inspection every 5 years, or it canceled itself, and it skipped diesels entirely. They dropped the whole thing after 2009. What you actually get new today is 3 years basic and 5 years on the powertrain, and that is it. So do not let a salesman wave the word lifetime around. Ask what is covered, in writing, on your VIN before you ever sign a thing. And number one is the one the dealer will never say out loud, because saying it would cost them the sale. Number one, the reputation does not match the data, and the truck bleeds value while you sleep. Ram sells you this image of a tough, bulletproof work truck, but the people who test reliability rate the 1500 about average, and they will tell you the 2024 model got recalled 5 separate times. The screens freeze, the electronics glitch, and the engines have every issue we just spent this whole video on. And then there is the money. A new 1500 can shed close to half its value in 5 years. That is half of it gone. You pay full truck money for about average reliability, then watch a chunk of it evaporate in the driveway. Now the heavy-duty 2500 and 3500 hold their value way better. That part is real, I will give them that. But the 1500 is not as good a buy as the brand wants you to think. So buy with your eyes wide open, pay for the truck, skip the legend they are selling you on the showroom floor. So here's what ties all of this together. The repair a dealer gives you almost never lasts longer than the warranty. They reflash, they swap one broken part for the same broken part, they tell you they cannot duplicate it, and the clock keeps running until the problem becomes your problem. Remember that guy from the start of the video, the one with metal in his Hemi and a $7,000 quote? He trusted the words, "Oh, they all do that." Do not be that guy. You all keep telling me in the comments that your old 90s truck never handed you half these headaches, and you are not wrong. So I put together a whole video on the forgotten truck features from the 90s that beat what these new ones give you today. And once you see what these companies quietly took from us, you will walk onto that lot with different eyes. It is right there on the screen. Go watch it before you sign anything.